What if you never had to shop again? Not because of some dystopian collapse, but because shopping quietly faded into the background. No crowds, no checkout lines, no decision fatigue, just the things you need, appearing right on time as if by magic. But it isn't magic, it's the endgame of a world where algorithms know your desires before you do, where your fridge restocks itself, your devices place orders without asking, and your daily habits train a machine that never sleeps. Every time your smart speaker replenishes your coffee or your detergent shows up without a click, you're not saving time. You're participating in an invisible revolution. Welcome to the age of invisible purchasing, where intelligent systems quietly fulfill your needs before you even know they exist. Invisible purchasing thrives on information. Your data, every click, every purchase, whispered into the digital ether. It's these whispers that algorithms learn from, building a detailed portrait of you, the consumer. What you like, what you need, what you don't even know you'll want yet. It's all there, but is this convenience worth the cost? The line between helpful and invasive can be thin. Step into a world where your fridge knows you better than you know yourself, where your car orders its own parts. This is the seductive promise of invisible purchasing, a world of unparalleled ease. But every revolution has its shadows. Who safeguards our privacy in this data-driven marketplace? Are we surrendering our autonomy to algorithms? The future of shopping is here, and it's invisible. Picture this: you're fast asleep, dreaming of electric sheep, perhaps. But in your kitchen, a silent drama unfolds. Your smart fridge, glowing softly in the pre-dawn light, has detected a distinct lack of milk. No need for frantic morning dashes to the supermarket. While you slumber, the fridge has sprung into action. It's consulted your schedule, cross-referenced local supermarket delivery slots, and placed an order. You wake up none the wiser to a fridge magically replenished. This is invisible purchasing at its purest. Transactions so seamless they disappear from our awareness. The transaction happens entirely in the background. The fridge, once a humble appliance, now stands as a sentinel of the smart home, a gateway to this new era of consumption. It's learning your habits, understanding your preferences. But this raises an interesting question. Who is really in control? Are we, as consumers, comfortable surrendering our shopping autonomy to a metal box, however intelligent it may be? This is about the shifting dynamics of power, about the fine line between convenience and control in a world increasingly shaped by algorithms. The refrigerator is just the tip of the iceberg, the first domino in a long line of everyday objects poised to embrace invisible purchasing. Think of your washing machine, automatically ordering more detergent when supplies run low. Think of your car, seamlessly scheduling its own service, ordering replacement parts based on its own internal diagnostics. This is the promise of the Internet of Things, a world where everything is connected, where every object is a potential point of sale. And it's not just about replenishing the essentials. This is where invisible purchasing starts to get really interesting and perhaps a little bit unsettling. As our devices get smarter and our choices more invisible, the question isn't just what we're buying, it's how we're being sold. That takes us to the next piece of the puzzle, the seductive world of subscriptions. Now let's talk about those monthly subscriptions. Remember when we used to own things? CDs, DVDs, even software? Now it's all about access, not possession. We subscribe to music, to movies, to fitness classes, even to meal kits. It's a lifestyle built on instant access and minimal effort. For a fixed monthly fee, a whole world of entertainment, knowledge, or culinary delights appears at our fingertips. But here's the rub. These subscriptions, often starting with tempting free trials, can quickly add up. Each individual payment seems insignificant, almost invisible, but together they form a significant outgoing, a silent drain on our resources. Now let's delve into the world of apps. Those digital playgrounds on our smartphones. They're free to download, yes, but within their brightly colored interfaces lies a subtle form of invisible purchasing, the in-app purchase. Want to unlock that special feature? Desire to progress faster, gain an advantage, just a small purchase, a few taps of the screen, and voila, you're a few pounds, dollars, or euros lighter. It's almost frictionless. These microtransactions, seemingly small on their own, collectively power a multi-billion-dollar industry. These transactions extend far beyond the realm of gaming apps. Envision this: you're reading an interesting article online, completely engrossed in the content. Suddenly you hit a paywall, denying you access to the rest of the article. Or perhaps you're using a navigation app and you're offered the chance to avoid traffic congestion for a small fee, of course. These microtransactions now permeate our digital lives, subtle, constant, and easy to overlook. But their cumulative cost is far from invisible. It raises important questions about access to information, about the increasing commodification of our digital experiences. Now, let's delve into the realm where invisible purchasing takes on an almost eerie intelligence, the world of predictive AI. One moment you're browsing online, perhaps looking for some new clothes. You haven't even typed anything into the search box, but already eerily accurate suggestions are popping up, showing you exactly what you didn't know you wanted. This is predictive AI in action. Algorithms that have learned your tastes, your style, perhaps even your budget, better than you know yourself. It's not just about predicting what you want to buy, but when and where you might want to buy it. Convenient? Certainly. But it also raises questions about how much autonomy we're willing to surrender to these digital assistants. Are we comfortable with algorithms shaping our desires, nudging us towards purchases we may not have otherwise made? Step into a world where the lines between the physical and digital realms blur even further. We're talking about voice assistants, those disembodied voices that have become ubiquitous in our homes. A simple command: Alexa, order more coffee beans, and a chain of processes is set in motion behind the scenes. Add a quiet, "Hey Google," batteries, and the invisible gears turn once more. What feels innocuous is, in fact, revolutionizing how we interact with commerce. The act of purchasing is reduced to a simple voice command, often made in passing without a second thought. But this ease of purchase can be a double-edged sword. The goal of invisible purchasing is to make the act of buying as seamless and frictionless as possible, and it's working. We're seeing the rise of contextual commerce, where purchases are integrated into our everyday digital experiences. Imagine scrolling through your social media feed and seeing an ad for a shirt that catches your eye. With a couple of taps, you can buy the shirt without ever leaving the app. This integration of commerce into our digital lives is both convenient and concerning. On the one hand, it makes it easier than ever to buy the things we want and need. But it also blurs the lines between content and commerce, making it more difficult to discern when we're being marketed to. Let's be honest, the allure of invisible purchasing is undeniable. It's the ultimate time saver in our increasingly hectic lives. No more queuing, no more battling crowds, no more frantic last-minute dashes to the shops. Everything we need, from groceries to gadgets, delivered right to our doorstep with a few taps on a screen or a simple voice command. It's the fulfillment of a long-held dream, a life made effortless and precisely tailored to our desires. And it's not just about saving time. Invisible purchasing can also help us manage our busy lives more effectively. Such is the compelling appeal of invisible purchasing. A world where our needs are met before we even realize we have them. But this convenience comes at a cost. Every click, every purchase, every preference we express online feeds into a vast and ever-growing pool of data. This data is the lifeblood of invisible purchasing. It's this data that algorithms analyze, seeking patterns and insights, building intricate profiles of our spending habits, our preferences, even our desires. The more data we generate, the more powerful these algorithms become, the more accurately they can predict our desires and preferences. Are we comfortable with algorithms shaping our choices and influencing our decisions simply for the sake of greater ease or efficiency? Proponents of invisible purchasing argue that it's simply the next logical step in the evolution of commerce, a natural progression in our increasingly digital world. They argue that these algorithms are designed to make our lives easier, to free us from the mundane, to help us make smarter choices. And to some extent, they're right. There's no denying the convenience factor. But we must also be aware of the potential pitfalls, the unintended consequences of handing over so much control to algorithms. The convenience of invisible purchasing comes at a price we pay not just in pounds, dollars, or euros, but in a currency far more valuable: our privacy. Every transaction, every preference, every click whispered into the digital ether, building a detailed portrait of our lives. Think about a world where your fridge knows your dietary habits better than your doctor, where your car insurance premium fluctuates based on your driving style, gleaned from sensors monitoring every acceleration, every braking maneuver. This is the paradox of the digital age. We crave convenience, yet bristle at the thought of our lives laid bare, our every move scrutinized, analyzed, commodified. But who controls the controllers? As algorithms become increasingly sophisticated, are we sleepwalking into a world where our choices are not truly our own? Consider this scenario: you're applying for a loan only to be rejected. Why? Because your digital shadow, that invisible trail of data we leave behind, suggests you're a credit risk. Perhaps you have a penchant for online shopping, or maybe your social media activity paints a picture of financial instability. The algorithms, ever vigilant, have passed judgment. This is the dark side of invisible purchasing, a world where our digital footprints can have real-world consequences. It raises profound questions about fairness, about transparency, about the very nature of decision-making in an increasingly automated world. The rise of invisible purchasing has profound implications for our relationship with money. When purchases are reduced to a few taps on a screen or a casual voice command, it's easy to become detached from the true cost of our consumption. We're no longer limited by the physical constraints of cash or the monthly sting of a credit card statement. The digital world offers the illusion of limitless spending power, a seductive siren song that can lure us onto the rocks of debt. This underscores the importance of financial literacy in this brave new world, of equipping ourselves and future generations with the tools to navigate the complexities of invisible purchasing. We stand at the cusp of a retail revolution. Invisible purchasing, once the stuff of science fiction, is rapidly becoming our everyday reality. It promises a world of unparalleled convenience, of frictionless transactions, of needs anticipated and met before they even arise. But this convenience comes at a cost. As we've seen, the invisible hand of the market is not without its grip. Our data, our privacy, our very autonomy as consumers are at stake. The question is, are we willing to pay the price? The future of shopping is not preordained. It's being shaped right now by the choices we make, the technologies we embrace, the regulations we demand. Will we succumb to the allure of seamless spending, surrendering our autonomy for the sake of convenience? Or will we demand transparency, accountability, and control over our own data, our own choices, our own destinies as consumers? The answer doesn't lie in the algorithms, but in ourselves. The future of shopping is here, and it's invisible. But that doesn't mean we have to be blind to its implications. By understanding the forces at play, we can navigate this new landscape consciously, responsibly, and perhaps even, dare I say, joyfully. So what can you do? Firstly, be aware. Pay attention to the data you're sharing, the permissions you're granting, the subscriptions you're accumulating. Knowledge, as they say, is power. Secondly, be proactive. Explore the privacy settings on your devices and apps. Set limits on spending, both for yourself and your family. Remember, just because you can buy it with a single click doesn't mean you should. Finally, be vocal. Insist on transparency from companies about how they're using your data. Support legislation that protects consumer privacy and promotes ethical data practices. The future of shopping is not just about what we buy, but how we buy it. Let's make sure it's a future where choice, transparency, and control remain firmly in our hands.